Hey there, wire weavers. Today we're going to talk about some tool maintenance. These are my ancient nylon jaw pliers, and as you can see, these jaws are really worn. These pliers are about 15 years old, and I don't even remember when was the last time that I changed these jaws. So I thought I'd pop on here quickly today and show you how to do this. It's a super easy tool maintenance trick, and it's just going to save you a lot of the headaches. You know, these nylon jaws are probably some of the hardest working pliers in my tool collection, and I really should change these jaws more frequently. So we're going to go ahead and change them today. Let's get started. Now, I don't know about you, but my tools tend to walk away. I have no idea where my precision screwdrivers are, so I'm just using my household screwdriver set. This has interchangeable tips, and I'm using the smallest flathead. And something about these nylon screws, they've held really well through the years, but they're not coming out very easily. So I'm just going to actually pry these off. I'm just going to get in under the head of that screw with my screwdriver and just pop that right out. Well, let's see if we can get these others off. There we go, there's one. Wants to break two. This is what happens when you don't change your pliers often enough. The threads in these nylon screws really don't last very long. So I'm just gonna, oh, those all broke off of there. All right, well, we're just gonna pop these jaws right off. Now that we don't have screw heads on there, they just come right off. There we go. I wanna pull that out of there. Okay, so that's what these pliers look like without the jaws. Now, these are the original, I guess regular size, I should say, EuroTool nylon jaw pliers. It had been so long since I changed these that I wasn't even sure what tool I had, so I kind of took a wild guess when I ordered parts for this. But I did find some original EuroTool nylon jaws, and I'll put a link in the description below. Now, the nice thing about these is they came with steel screws, and this was a pleasant surprise because in the listing photo it actually showed the nylon screws. So this is the EuroTool PLR 830.05. These are the regular width jaws. Now, if you have the narrow width EuroTool, that's a different part number, and I will share that below as well. I'll link to both of these in case you have the narrow jaw. You can grab jaws for your pliers as well. So let's go ahead and replace these jaws. So again, like I said, you know, I appreciate that these have the steel screws rather than the nylon screws. The nylon screws worked fine. They held. You know, obviously those jaws have been on these pliers for a really long time. Too long, actually. They should have been replaced ages ago. But we're doing it today. So, you know, this is one of those things that we rely so heavily on these tools, and we just really have to take the time to take care of our tools. So I'm just pressing this jaw on there, and I just slid it on from the front. Let me show you this again. So I'm just sliding it on, because if you try to snap it on, you're not going to be able to get it in there. You want to start from the front and slide that jaw on there, and that will just get it on there more securely. And then go ahead and close your pliers and make sure that everything's in place, position. And then we're just going to go ahead and these little tiny screws. Now again, this would be better with my precision screwdriver, which has gone AWOL. This is the smallest of my Phillips head screwdriver tips. So we're just going to put that in there and gently screw this in. Now these screws are going to screw into this nylon material very easily, which means it's going to be very easy to over tighten and strip those jaws. So don't over tighten these. You just want to tighten just enough that your screw head's going to sit flat and be out of the way, and that's going to be plenty secure. You don't need to really wrench down on these and tighten them. because all that's going to do is you're going to strip the threads on your on the nylon piece, and it's just not going to hold the screw. So I'm just barely tightening those down. And you can see now that those screw heads are nice and flat, and that jaw is going to be very secure. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to tighten this last screw here. And again, these will go in this nylon material pretty easily. You don't need to pre-drill holes or anything like that. Just use the sharp point of the screw to get in there. And the trick with these is to be careful not to over tighten, because you will strip the nylon material and then your screws won't hold. But again, these screws are there mainly as a secondary source of security. The jaws fit on the pliers quite snugly just on their own, and then those screws just help to hold them in place. So that's it. Now I have some nice fresh new nylon jaw pliers to work with. That's going to be super exciting. So as you can see here, looking at my old jaws, they were really, really worn. There's a large gap between the two jaws that you can see here, and that's from straightening larger gauge wires. So whenever I needed to straighten like a fine gauge weaving wire, I had to use this back section here, the back of the jaws, and even that was getting worn to the point where it was not working very well to straighten wire. So look for those links below in the description. I will include those for both styles of the pliers, both the regular width and the narrow width jaws. And if you have worn nylon jaws on your pliers, go ahead and get those replaced. You'll be glad you did. That's it for today, wire weavers. I hope you enjoyed this tool quick tip. Until next time, go make something beautiful.